enjoy it. It's gonna be short. We mainly have 4 major points to explain to you guys, and we're gonna try to do it in a funny way. The only thing is that Martin is a little bit late. I don't know where he is. He knows that we're presenting. Do you have any idea where he is? No?
So he's always late.
Yeah. Can we try to call
He's
him?
my
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Let's try to call Martin.
counterpart in that cohort.
What?
Maybe he's locked outside, yeah.
We're gonna call him 1 second and see where he is. Martin, you
I don't know what happened to my face.
Oh,
It's everywhere. I don't even know where I am right now.
Martin, we have a presentation.
Presentation? Now?
Oh,
Clean off my face real quick.
Can you get him now, Martin?
Yes. Actually, no, I don't even know where we are right now. Can you guys take control of my body, please?
We will.
I'll give you guys control.
Yes, we will. Can you control him,
yeah,
please?
sure, yeah.
Okay, we'll take you there. Don't worry.
I have control now. Just walk me forward.
Okay, go ahead. We got
Goes
you.
to the left.
We got you, Martin.
All right.
Okay, start.
Easy. This looks familiar.
It's so weird.
Guys. What are they? Oh God!
Oh my god.
Oh my God, guys, they're chasing me. Oh my God, guys. What are you doing? Mayo. What are you doing?
Don't worry, just focus.
Mayo, these are real people, Mayo.
It's just a game.
Oh, can you grab the chocolates, please? Please.
Asthma, is that you, Asthma?
I'm sorry, I
There
can't
are
help
no
it.
time for chocolates, Asthma.
Come on, hurry up, Martin. Hurry up. We're waiting for you.
That was a par.
Don't pay attention to him. Just answer.
Sorry, I just need to get to class. I wasn't suspicious at all.
You're almost there, Martin. So, as you should have guessed, yeah, Martin is like.
Give me a hand signal.
Always late.
Can I go now?
Okay, so we thought that would be a fun way to introduce our presentation. Basically, we're going to talk about 4 different types of narrative in this presentation. We have the enacted narrative, that's what you just saw, and that's what I'm going to explain in a few. We also have embedded narratives, evocative, and emergent narratives. It may seem a little bit overwhelming, but it's going to be very clear with all the video games examples we're going to give you. So the enacted narratives, as you saw, is centered around the main character, who is the one making the game evolve. The whole game is centered around the character, and as he's evolving in the game, he has the environment is making obstacles in his evolving, and that's what we saw when he was stopped at the gate, for example. If he couldn't get in, that would have been an obstacle to him going to the next level. The enacted narratives, the story evolves around the main character, and the environments can advance or retard the story. We're going to have a video game example to explain that, and Mayo is going to explain more further detail how it goes.
So like she mentioned, in enacted stories, the character advances the story. And the example is Mario. This is Super Mario 64. The goal is to save the princess. But through his movements and interaction with the environment, you are able to achieve this goal.
Okay, so I think now we can move to the next type of narrative, which is the evocative narrative. And once again, we're gonna present a little video explaining it first, and then we're gonna explain the theory about it.
The shoes are doing amazing well. I'm really surprised. Yeah, all the things you know, yeah. Wow. Sorry about all that noise in the background. Some crazy girl is fighting some zombies. They're beating the heck out of her. But yeah, the shoes, I'm really proud of it. It was a great.
Okay, so as you see, we try to redo Resident Evil, which is a famous movie. And evocative narratives, usually they're evoking a universe that you already know through movies, through different stories. So for example, in this case, in Resident Evil, you know the story behind Resident Evil, you know the movie. So when you're playing the video game is not gonna reproduce the same exact plot as the movie, but it's just a dialogue between the movie and the game. It reminds you of an environment you know, but you are choosing your own path in this game. You're not following the exact same plot as the movie. We're gonna try another example, and Mayo is gonna explain.
So like she explained, in evocative spaces, basically the landscape is something you're familiar with. And the example they gave in the article, they used Disney theme rides, where you go in there and you go on these rides and you see familiar landscapes and movies. This particular game is also made by Disney, and it's called Kingdom Hearts. Basically, it's based in the Disney universe. So you run into characters from different Disney shows and movies, and this is the example we use for the evocative.
Move to the next one, and now we're going to talk about embedded narrative, and we're going to once again start with a quick example.
As long as it's serious.
It's just sriracha.
Naked? Oh. Sorry about that. Yeah, I like the color.
My beautiful face!
Hello? Asma? Mayo? Can you guys hear me okay?
Okay, so in this example, we try to redo a video game called Déjà Vu, and that's the perfect example of embedded narrative. Basically, what embedded narrative is, when you're playing this game, you have no idea what the plot is. You have no idea of what the backstory is, and while you're playing, you have some cues and you have some clues, and you need to discover what's your objective, what your goal is while you're playing the game. And of course, there will be some obstacles to stop you from discovering what your main goal is. So that's embedded narrative, and now we have an example to explain that further.
So you're going to see two games. The first one is called Quake. Quake is an old game. The story behind Quake was this marine was going through different dimensions, trying to stop an invasion of Earth. So as you're playing the game, you come across different objects that help you achieve your goal. But there are numerous enemies trying to prevent him from getting that. And she's already discussed it that with this type of storytelling, you come across things that help you to get to your goal. Now this other game is called Killzone. I'll let you play it. So in this type of narrative, sorry to talk over it, you have to figure out what's going on. It usually works for detective type stories. You're trying to figure out what's the plot, why am I here? As you can see with the first video of Martin, he was lost and he didn't know what was going on. This is basically how narratives like this work.
I was just waiting. I don't play that.
Okay. So I think we got the main idea behind the embedded narrative, and now we're gonna explain the very last one. The last narrative is emergent narrative. So example, and then we're gonna explain it.
Hey, what do you think about my hair?
It's really different.
What does that mean?
You know, different.
Thanks, man.
Can't you see we're in the middle of a conversation?
So, excuse me, what are you doing later?
I'm married. Don't even think about it.
Okay, so I'm trying to redo the Sims here. And the Sims is really the perfect example of an emergent narrative. Basically, an emergent narrative is a game where the players are the authors. They are basically writing the whole backstory of their characters. You are deciding what's going to be the conflicts between your characters, what's going to be what they're going to live, what's going to be their whole life. You're basically the author of the life of your characters, and it makes you very empathetic with them because you're transferring your own emotions to these characters and you're reliving your life virtually. So we have The Sims, which is a good example. We also have World of Warcraft, which is really huge and lots of people really identify to that. We have EverQuest, so these are the types of games that have an emergent narrative. And now Mayo is going to explain us further.
Yeah, so we have two games here. The Sims being the first one. Basically, in this type of narrative, the world is rich with resources. They basically want to replicate real life or something close to it, especially with a game like The Sims. People make these communities online or in these games, and in the next game, which is Worldcraft, people actually have turned it into professions and make money from it. So yeah, in these games, the world is the world that you live in is the main catch.
Okay, so now that we've explained the 4 types of narratives, we're gonna do a little quiz. We're gonna show you a video game and you're gonna tell us which type of narrative it is. And whoever has the good answer, we have a chocolate for them.
The chocolate wine, so.
Yeah.
So what do you think this is? You have enacted narratives, embedded narratives, evocative narratives, and emergent.
Evocative. Evocative.
Evocative, enacted, what else?
Emergent?
Okay. How about this one? That's an answer. Enacted, is that? Okay. Embedded?
Are you ready? Fight!
Okay, Mayo, can you give us just? So for the first one, what was
The first one is enacted. Since you are the characters. Oh, who said that? Gonna.
Send it down.
Yes, it's enacted. The characters, they move the goal ahead, and your goal is to score or win. And for the second one, unfortunately, or fortunately, it's also enacted because the goal, as you can see, is character heavy, and you have to win.
Okay, so now we're gonna also try. We're gonna do a little pause and we're gonna play some Tetris for 2 minutes.
You did win.
So. Yes, you wanna play?
Yay!
Oh, y'all come to chill. I come up so I can run up like
Okay, and while Nia is playing Tetris, can you figure out what type of narrative is behind Tetris?
Okay, don't laugh at me because I really suck at this type of stuff.
It's okay.
I don't know what to do.
This is to go channel.
Okay, hold on. Left, right, move, stop, drop. Okay.
Okay, so what type of narrative is behind Tetris?
It's embedded, right?
Embedded? Okay. Any other answer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not building a
Go
house.
on, give me more answers. What type of narrative is that?
Okay.
I guess mine is wrong.
Yeah.
Is it,
You gotta.
You said enacted
Oh.
too? Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Hey, I think you have to hit the up button.
Yeah, do you have a guess?
Or maybe the space bar. Space bar to rotate it.
Yeah, rotate. No.
There it is.
On the other side.
Hey, now I told you I was
No.
good, but I found it here.
We only
Yeah.
have 2 minutes anyways.
Why you want to lose?
Yeah, it's just dying there.
Doctor, you said you're dying.
I'm sorry, Dr. You know,
Yeah.
I'm good at other things.
No, that was great. 2 minutes.
I'm good at other things.
Hey, 2 minutes. That was exactly. We have to stop.
You guys thought it was enacted and I had one embedded, I think. And let's see what's the answer for that. So the answer is neither. There is no narrative behind Tetris. Tetris is
Well, technically, if we didn't respond, does that count?
I think she's right. That's a good. I think that counts.
I'm just saying.
Tetris is an example of a game where there is absolutely no narrative behind it, and that's the main conflict between ludologists and anthropologists, and that's what Martin likes.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the main, critiques that Henry Jenkins, the guy who wrote the article that we're doing the research on, was trying to address was drawing a line through the middle. On the one side, you have all the people who are always looking for stories and all the games that they play, and so he opens up these 4 categories, and on the other side are these ludologists who's just like, when I sit down and I want to play games, I want to play games. I didn't ask to watch a movie. I didn't ask to, I just want to get in there, beat somebody up, and put some blocks down or something like that. So the ludologists basically focus on the mechanics of gameplay. And so narratologists, but we naturally look for story so much that for some, often it's a big plus having a good story. For some, like I asked a buddy of mine, playing, I don't know, Call of Duty, and then I was like, how important is the story to you? He's just like, I really ignore the whole thing. I just want to shoot something like people. And so for some people, it varies. So there's this is the big kind of contentious debate back and forth. How much, should we focus on each? Because it's a $70 billion, industry a year. But yeah, and lastly, with just the games that we saw, you could probably see aspects of more than one in each of those games. Like Sims would be a great emergent narrative type of thing, whereas World of Warcraft is also an emergent narrative, but it also has qualities of like enacting narrative in there too, because you're throwing fireballs and all that stuff. So it's kind of a mix. So he's not very clear, he's never really super clear with what game's what. But we can see aspects.
It's kind of a mix-up.
Mm-hmm.
Each step is different.
Yeah.
It's a different narrative. Okay.
Yeah.
And to finish this presentation, we have last part about spatial stories and environmental storytelling, and Mario will explain what this is. I think you want the visual.
Yes, after. So before I start off this piece, how many of you watch Game of Thrones? How many of you like it? Are you familiar with the wall in Game of Thrones? So, all right, we can cue the video.
Southwest, and I saw you in the Game of Thrones Oculus Rift machine there. It seemed pretty intense. Can you just kind of tell me what it was like for you in there?
It was absolutely amazing because it's not just like the Oculus and like the headphones, they've got like the wind machine and like the floor moves as well, and it's really scary. And I thought it was going to be fun, which it was, but it was really scary as well.
So what she was talking about is this virtual reality experience, and it's powered by the Oculus Rift. If the Oculus Rift is a gear you put on your face, and it takes you into this world. In this particular case, Game of Thrones, HBO worked with them, and they created this lift that would go up to the top of the wall. If you watch the show, the wall is very imposing. All the walkers are right, and all that. But basically, the lift in question is this show is set in medieval times, so it's not like the lifts or elevators we're used to. So the lift is rickety, the wind is blowing. What the Rift or virtual reality does is it replicates real world conditions, and you feel like you're actually experiencing these things. And that's what she was talking about as it was creepy, and you can see from the way she was moving that she really felt she was there. So Martin talked briefly about, in some games you see certain aspects of the narrative we talked about. Something like virtual reality encompasses all the narratives, because not only are you playing as a character, but you're also immersed in this world of the game designers creating, and you also have a goal or objective to get to. Now all the time, now virtual reality isn't just limited to games, but in a game-like scenario, all these narratives come into play, and that is called spatial storytelling. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that.
Okay, so we're now done with this presentation, and all your questions are welcome.
Alright, anybody who wants to? Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Yeah. All right, thank you. So we're gonna have, you guys know the drill already. Mr. Sakai, go to Sakai and provide feedback to our presenters.